a brief overview on business analysis and what are we going to do here and what are the content and how this content is going to help you.
So according to my understanding, business analysis is where first thing is that we need to analyze the business, like any project, what we are doing, why we are doing, and we need to gather the requirements first thing from the client side and from the different stakeholders in the company, and then we need to document it as a business analyst and deliver the same to the development team and to get the work done. So when the project is started, the proper requirements with the proper documented way, maybe business requirement documents. I don't have clear idea what are the documents. So we need to document all those, and then we need to deliver the same thing to the development team when they are doing the project. And after that, when the work is doing, whether the requirements and the product is coming on the proper shape, and then after doing it, we need to, as a business analyst, according to my idea, I think some part of testing also is required, whether it is coming it in the proper way. And after it is done, we need to do some user acceptance testing, whether the product is has come according to the given requirements, and again we need to deliver to the clients.
More a BA, more the PM roles. So let's go ahead and see what we do as an analyst and what skill set you required for you to excel in the BA role. Shailaja, do you mind get into the mute mode?
Sure, yeah.
And we see a lot of echo from your machine. I'm not sure. Probably you can look into the microphone right after today's session. All right, this is what we're going to do. Like you both said, Mira said, we act as a relation between two bodies, and you said you gave me the more or less the complete responsibilities of a business analyst. Like I said before, yes, as a business analyst, we act as a relation between two groups or two stakeholders. We call them as business and the project. Business stakeholders are nothing but the people who come from the business end, and the project stakeholders are the people who work for that particular project to deliver what the business demands for, right? So as an analyst, you always talk to both the people. We talk to the business in the business language, and we talk to the technology folks in their own understanding language, so that we can bridge the gap between both the parties. So what we are going to learn here is, hope you can see the screen, both of you. Can you? Meera and Shailaja? Yes. So the content, we always start with hierarchies. When I say hierarchy, we're going to see where you're going to start your career as an analyst and where you can see yourself in the future. Let's say today you may start as a junior analyst, tomorrow as a BA or a senior BA or a BA manager or a project manager. We're going to see the career path and the different roles and responsibilities of a business analyst. For example, let's take Microsoft. If you go to Microsoft, they doesn't have a designation as a business analyst. They will call you as a systems analyst. Now let's take Google. They will call you as a process analyst. Now let's take Bank of America, for example. They will call you as a team member for business analysis group. If you see that the designation itself is not standardized across the world, right? So there are so many organizations, they are still trying to standardize the BA designation. But we're going to see in detail what sort of designations existing in the market and what sort of roles they do. And if you're going to get into any of those designations, what are you expected to perform? That's what we're going to see there. And whomever you ask, even I said I'm currently working with Cisco, prior to this with Chase, prior to that with Colt, right? So many C's and so many projects. So what is this project is all about, right? So you need to know a detailed overview or understanding on this term. And if you see any successful project, it has a project manager and a business analyst. And why actually both these stakeholders are required for any successful project. And take any organization in this world. You just name any company. You can categorize that company into a product-based company or a services-based company, at times both. So if you're going to end up working for any of these organizations as a BA, what sort of roles you need to look into? That's what we're going to see here. And like I said, as being a business analyst, most of the time we talk to the people, we try to understand what their needs are, right? Which means, let's assume, Mira, if you're working for a company called, let's say, Mira Technologies, right? You're working as a VA, and you are talking with Shailaja. Let's say Shailaja is your business stakeholder. Now, if you're talking with Shailaja, you are actually representing a Mira Technologies, not as an individual person like a Mira, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right. If I'm talking with someone from some XYZ company, which means I'm representing the organization, not as an individual, right?
Sure.
So we does the same thing. So most of the time when we talk to the people, if you doesn't know anything about your own business, that's going to be a hit for you. So like you said before, Shailaja, before you kick into the business or before you talk to the people, you need to understand what sort of processes you guys maintain at your workplace. So what sort of proposals, how the business development team work, not the business analysis team, business development team. So these are the people who are expertise in their marketing and sales skill set. They try to get the business into the company. What sort of things they do. So after that, what happens? What sort of roles we play? That's what we're going to see here today. So we talk about proposals. That stands for RFP, request for proposal, and then a little bit about enterprise analysis, how you can understand the business architecture, and then how you can study, and the feasibility studies, how feasible a project is or a requirement is. When I say we, your organizations make money, and how that money will, more or less, we talk about revenues here, okay? How they make money out of the projects. And then SOWs, it's like an agreement between you and your business stakeholders. So we have a document called the statement of work. We don't do it, but you need to know about these few things. So we are going to discuss about these things in detail. And then something about SDLC, stands for Software Development Lifecycle. So there are few life cycles which you need to know, how people in IT do the development related projects and what sort of metrics they look into it, and the quality standards, right? It's like a certification to a company. For example, if you're going to watch a movie, you always have the certified, right? Like they'll always say a U-rated movie or a A-rated movie or a U by A-rated movie, correct? Have you ever observed it? Mira, Shailaja, right? So there will be a governing body. They will watch these movies, and then they will certify these organizations or these movies with that particular certificate, correct? So in the same way, there are few governing bodies who does some analysis on the organizations based on what sort of quality standards we follow, and based on the quality standards, they will give you a certificate, right? So they will give you a standard. So that's what we call it as CMMI, stands for capability, maturity, and model integration, which will be done by, it actually the concept has come from the Carnegie Mellon University, but we're going to see how these things going to help us. And then a little about the domain knowledge, where and how to acquire the domain knowledge. So many people talk about healthcare, telecommunications, banking, finance, you just name it. But technically, if you see, one can't become a domain expert overnight, right? We're not like Rajnikants. We can't learn everything in one day. So you will learn things in a systematic way, right? So you need to know where to start, what to read, what not to read, and how to acquire the domain. So if you ask me as an experienced person, I always say you will learn things by doing it. If you're not doing it, you won't learn it. I mean, especially when I talk about domain. But there are a few tips and techniques which you can use, and you can acquire the same amount of knowledge within a short period of time. And how to do that, that's what we're going to see in our sessions. And then a little about the stakeholders. Like I said before, stakeholder management is so important for a business analyst. So we're going to understand what is this term stakeholder is all about, why stakeholder management is so important, and what sort of roles and responsibilities these stakeholders has, and something like a bread and butter for a business analyst that is called a requirement. So we're going to see what is a requirements engineering is all about, and we're going to define what is a requirement and how we gather requirements, what sort of techniques we use in gathering the requirements, and what sort of analysis techniques we have, like how do you analyze one requirement if you have at hand, and then how do you categorize it, how do you prioritize requirements, and then what is requirement stability indexes. And a little about JAD sessions. JAD stands for Joint Application Design or Development. And then there comes the most important thing. Have you ever, I'm sure Mira, you doesn't have any idea about it. So Shailaja, have you heard about these acronyms before? URD or BRD or CRD. You are in mute. You need to unmute yourself.
Yeah. So BRD is business requirement documents, I think so. But
Right. So what is
I don't
URD?
know. Means I didn't write a Teja, like I didn't write any BRD.
That's okay. But you at least heard about the acronym, right?
No, BRD only I know. URD I don't know. CRD I don't know. No,
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Functional
Maybe you
requirement
want to try?
documents, I think so.
That is F for functional, correct?
Yeah.
Any one of you want to try what is URD and CRD stands for? Can you guess
This
this?
use cases requirement
Use cases are a
document.
part of your requirement document. So that's not actually a separate document, but it's a complete separate concept I'm going to explain you. Yeah. This is what it is. URD stands for, URD stands for user requirement document, BRD for business requirement, C for customer, T for technical, F for functional, and again FSD stands for functional specification document. It's all one artifact, different names with respect to the project, with respect to the organization. These names will vary. We're going to see what are these are, and the use cases are a part of, it's like use cases are like your heart. So if you know how to write an effective use case, trust me, 60% of your job is done. But how to write a use case is one of the most important thing. And there are a little about functional explanation sessions we're going to discuss, and the design and the development phases. Apart from it, apart from requirements, apart from talking with the people, gathering some information, we do a pinch of testing. Right? As a business analyst, you are expected to perform at least the manual testing. So to understand the testing concepts, you need to know a little more information. So I even teach testing here. So we're going to discuss what is verification, what is validation, what are the different testing concepts we have currently in the market. People say functional testing, regression testing, so many names we have, and how we deliver it, and what are the UAT sessions are. UAT stands for user acceptance testing. And then what is a change request, what is a defect, and if there are multiple change requests at hand, how will you handle all these? And if you're unable to deliver something, how will you communicate to your clients? And then what is an RTM, stands for requirements traceability matrix. And what is a CR log, stands for a change request log. And then a little about the UML, stands for unified modeling language. So there are a couple of diagrams which comes under UML. So we're going to see what are these diagrams are, and how we're going to use these diagrams, and what sort of modeling things we do. And then a little about the tools. When I talk about tools here, tools means the business analysis tools. So we have plenty of tools to explore and see, but there are few the most important tools which you guys need to know before you get into the business analyst role. So we're going to see what these tools are, and how you can actually explore these tools. And we're going to learn all these things in detail in our regular sessions. And then something about the KOM, stands for a kickoff meeting. And then a little about the wireframes or mockups or prototypes. So these are the three things which comes as part of our modeling. So even we're going to see as part of these three things using a tool called Microsoft Visio, how we do it. And like I said before, I deal with a lot of freshers, like people like Mira, people like Shailaja at times, people who doesn't have any idea about IT, and no idea about the meeting notes or how to do some meetings. So I'm going to give some complete overview on the basics, like the ones you see here, and weekly status reports. A little about the project management related things we're going to see here, like the complete risk management things. And as part of risk management, we're going to discuss about risk analysis, what is gap analysis, and what is impact analysis, and some sort of versioning and repositories. There are a few things comes under gold plating list, and all the CMMI level 5 standard templates we're going to see. Case studies, nothing but the assignments what I give in the regular sessions, and resume services and mock interviews if somebody required. I will assist you right after the complete training. So this is what we do in our regular sessions. Okay. And these things may vary. It may gonna take 25 hours to 30 hours. So those were the days I delivered a little less or little more content for 50 hours, 60 hours too. It all depends on you, the kind of questions you ask. The more questions you ask, the more information I can give it to you. It's all about discussions, like I said before. It won't be like a training. It will be like a knowledge transfer. So we discuss about the topics here rather than we try to, just I explain you something and you understood and you're reading books. It won't work in that way. And I don't want to give you any wrong commitments because I do have a good understanding on what sort of backgrounds you come from. So if you want to evaluate yourself whether you're going to be a right fit for this particular position or not, if you both are open, I have a few questions to ask you so that you can take a call from there. The way it's going to work, I'm going to tell you, we will discuss something in a session today. And then once the class is done, I'm going to share the running notes and the supporting documents. And once the session is over, I will send some supporting documents to your email, and they'll let you know what we are going to discuss in the next session.